All right, guys, today I want to talk about the roadmap, the development roadmap that was actually put out today by Bungie. Because if you're like me, you're probably sitting there wondering, is this a game you should be coming back to? Is this a game? I swear to God, it's turned into the Division, dude. Right? Like every time a patch would roll out or about to roll out for the Division, we all kept asking that question. Okay, is it good now? Is this a game we should be coming back to? And that's kind of what's happening with Destiny. Now, we're going to go over this development roadmap. They broke it up and essentially in the patches that it's going to be rolling out month to month. So right now, we're living 1.1.2. That's the most recent patch that came out on Tuesday. And then after this patch will be 1.1.3. This will be February the 27th. Then 1.1.4, which is March the 27th. And 1.2.0, which is actually going to be the new season. I'm sure that's going to be directly related to the next DLC that will be rolling out. Now, I'm going to pull from all of these, but specifically the things that jumped out to me the most from each one of these patches, as well as what's directly improving the game and what you're probably going to think of as well as being a positive direction, and then give kind of my final thoughts on the matter. Now, the good stuff really starts with patch 1.1.3. Nightfall Strike Unique Rewards. That's a big one for me. That was actually highlighted by Bungie because we need strike-specific rewards. Without a doubt, there's literally no reason for you to do a strike. I would love to actually see what the amount of players, how many players actually complete a Nightfall or even just general strikes per week, because I just get the feeling no one does them. So Nightfall Strike Unique Rewards, maybe that's just only strike specific loot that you can achieve from doing the Nightfalls, which is great. I actually really do miss doing the Nightfalls. I miss having an incentive to do the Nightfall, and hopefully they're good unique rewards and not straight ass. Unfortunately, that is the only interesting thing that I see for patch 1.1.3 coming in February 27th. There's some other things like Nightfall scoring and high score tracking. There's some other stuff like, PC public text chat, oh, I don't care, and exotic repetition reduction. There's little things like that. I feel like, especially exotic repetition reduction, it's like they throw that in there just to show that they're doing something. You just need to leave that kind of stuff out, man. Like, how many times have we mentioned exotic repetition reduction? That's already been done like a million times, man. I mean, at some point, it's just understood. We're just going to keep getting the same exotics over and over again. Moving on, though, 1.1.4, which is the main thing that I'm going to be talking about today. It is the Sandbox and Crucible update that's going to be coming. And honestly, I wish this was swapped with 1.1.3. This is the update that I'm looking forward to the most. The downside is it's not coming until March 27th. But essentially, the first thing they label here is weapon ability sandbox changes, which is great. Iron Banner 6v6, weekly Crucible playlist including Mayhem, Crucible ammo and gameplay tuning, Crucible quitter penalties, and exotic weapon armor sandbox changes. This is big, and that's hefty, which is probably why it's not going to come until March 27th, but that's hefty. You're not only stacking on just basic weapon ability sandbox changes, but the mention of Crucible ammo and gameplay tuning really makes me wonder how far we're going to go with it. Maybe they're just going to throw in one more power node. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be shared power. I don't know. But it is good that they have that on their radar. Now, the exotic weapon and armor sandbox changes. That's good. And hopefully they're going to change it for the better. I mean, exotic weapons, Christopher Barrett's already mentioned it, saying that exotics should be some of the most powerful weapons of the game. He even mentioned, yes, they shouldn't just be uniquely ass, because that's what they've been here lately. When was the last time you even thought about loading out a Skyburner's Oath in PvP? Never. You never thought about doing that. So hopefully what we're going to be looking at with 1.1.4, the day that update's come out, is there's going to be a whole section of exotic. After you get past just the basic weapon and ability tune-ups, you're going to see nothing but exotic weapons and armor pieces that are going to be specifically tuned in the game to become more powerful. There's going to be distinct, noticeable differences if you are not using those exotics, which is the way it should be, guys. And I hope to God they don't take a passive way of dealing with those things. They mentioned also Crucible quitter penalties, which is good. There's been a lot of people that quit in Crucible, even over the stupidest things. There's a reason why no one plays competitive, and it's not because competitive is just stack team after stack team. I run into solo players all the time. It's literally because people just leave. Outright will just leave a game if they tend to get killed twice in a row. So Crucible quitter penalties is a good thing that they're going to be put in. Hopefully they don't go overboard with it where they time you out for like a day and a half. But, timing somebody out for a couple minutes or 5-10 minutes is a good. That can work really well, and it keeps somebody actually playing the game a little longer. Now 6v6 is coming back to Ironbender, and obviously it's going to be Ironbender specific. I'm okay with that. You want to test the waters out in a seasonal event like that. Sure, we'll go ahead and try it out in Ironbender and see how it flows. I think we're going to see some issues arise from that simply because there is spawn times, and the way spawns just generally work in Crucible is terrible. When you're in a gunfight with someone and an enemy spawns literally next to you and is able to help their friend out, that's terrible. It should not have that. There should be some sort of proximity alarm that goes off to allow people to allow it to not spawn that person up and spawn them elsewhere. And so 6v6, there's just going to be more of that chaotic spawn, and I think a lot of that's going to come out, and hopefully they rework that and we can just outright avoid it. They also mentioned heroic strike modifiers, which I'm excited about. I really am. But just the other things in 1.1.4 is the things that were jumping out to me the most. So if you ask me today which update you should be focused on, like what date should you be coming back to Crucible, to Destiny? And I honestly believe 1.1.4, March 27th, is not going to fix everything. It's not going to be the best because, again, they still have to deliver on the Sandbox changes. They still have to deliver on the exotic weapon and armor tune-ups. They've got a lot of things here they have to deliver on, and hopefully they will. But what I'm trying to say, as my veteran players that are here on my YouTube channel that watch regularly and wonder, hey, when is it that I should be coming back and playing this game and actually giving it a shot again? I think leading up to that date, I'll be able to give you more information. But that is the date, March 27th. Put it on your calendar that we'll know for sure. I mean, really, really, guys, that's going to be either the nail in the coffin or the thing that's going to open this game up. It's one or the other. There will be no other way when it comes to that date. Because if they fuck up that date, if that date right there essentially rolls out, Sandbox changes, and they completely just screw everything up, then that's it, man. That's the nail right there. And you're going to see a huge dip off in the player base. So yes, the pressure is on for that date, for that update 1.1.4. As far as everything from now, 1.1.2 and 1.1.3, what we're going to be looking at in the next month, I like Ironbender today. I played it today. It wasn't half bad. You're still running into the same stuff that you always run into, but Armor Masterworks is kind of cool. I like that we now have different raid perks that allow you to really pump out some extra damage in the raids. And so little stuff like that, I'm liking it, but I understand where you are, especially as a veteran player of this game. Overall, the feedback will continue, and that's something that I think that Bungie's really starting to perk up. Look, guys, they know it. We know it. They know it, though, okay? They're the ones looking at the analytics every single day. They're looking at the numbers every single day, and they see their player base dropping off, and they know something's going to have to be done because there is a graveyard full of as many games as you've seen as successes. There is a much bigger graveyard of dead fucking games. And I'm telling you, Bungie, I think there is a level of fear that has been instilled in them, and they see that being a possibility, and that's a good thing. Look, I'm not saying that fear is a great motivator that you should be using in your life, but in this situation, there should be a level of fear, and I'm glad that it's there, because if the game is to continue the way that it was, it would definitely end up in that fucking graveyard. Fellas, thank you so much for coming and watching this video. If you enjoyed this, definitely hit that thumbs up. I'll keep you up to date on everything, man. Let you know when the game is just outright popping and you should be running back to it. As of right now, it's the same. Everything is pretty much the same. They throw it in and tweaked in a couple of things here and there. Like I said, I like what they've thrown in now. But again, if you are not a fan of the previous and current Sandbox, you do not need to come back yet. March the 27th is your date. Guys, as always, slap that like button like your mama told you right. Let's get closer.